28th, 2025. And we'll wait for some people to join. And welcome to Pro Gun Live. This is our weekly live stream. Today is Saturday, June 28th, 2025. We do this live stream every Saturday, 12 o'clock noon Eastern. And we'll give it a few minutes for more people to join. As you join, if you want to just type in your name or say hello so I can acknowledge you. It doesn't show me who's watching, it just shows me how many people are connected. Well, we got screwed again today by the U.S. Senate. Everybody was excited about the big, beautiful bill that would have included suppressors and short-barreled rifles. But the Senate hosed us again. And hello, John. Thanks for joining. You know, this is something, I guess I should have saw it coming, but I'm sure a lot of people, just like myself, was very excited that they were going to exclude the suppressors and the short-barreled rifles off of the list, but that never happened. And Bobo the Hobo, I just started streaming, so we will be running this stream until 1 o'clock. However, I do enjoy the engagement with the viewers, so if people are still asking questions, we do keep it going longer. So anyway, we thought we had that one in the bag. Should have known better. The government does have a way of screwing us out of our Second Amendment rights. But I thought for sure we were going to have the suppressors without the tax and short-barreled rifles. But okay, Amazon, it's time for you to go. Every once in a while, we do get a dipshit here, and I do make them disappear. All right, we do this stream for you guys, and hello, Ted Collins. Welcome to the live stream. Like I said, this is for you guys. This is where we can exchange information, ask questions, things like that. I do like the fact that we have people from all different backgrounds and people of all different level skills. And LaToya Jackson, I am in the great state of Tennessee. You wouldn't know by my accent because I'm originally from the communist state of New Jersey, but I live in Tennessee now. I just received from Lock Grips some really cool grips for my 1911 that I just replaced, and I just did the review this morning. I'll be releasing that shortly. And due to popular request, I will also be releasing a whole series of dry fire training drills If you subscribe to the channel and you look under the playlist, you'll see I have a playlist called Dry Fire Drills. Wearing a Graceland shirt right now. That's awesome. I think we visited Elvis's house a couple years ago. I also just did a review on the Mantis X10 Elite. If you don't dry fire train, or if you do, it is a fantastic tool that allows you to dry fire or live fire train. And you can use it with a pistol, rifle, shotgun, even a bow. So you may want to check that video out as well. I also want to thank everyone that subscribed to the channel. Last week, you guys helped push us over the 6,000 mark. So I appreciate that. We're getting closer to 10,000. To answer your question, Don J, no, the resetting your trigger has got nothing to do with Mantis. That is an issue with semi-automatics in general. Unless it's double action, you do have to rack the slide. However, if you do watch the video I did on the dry fire mag, that does reset your trigger, so you don't have to rack the slide. I did a review on that. You may want to check my videos for it. And the dry fire mag comes with or without a laser cartridge, which is really cool. And that definitely helps with dry fire training drills, because racking the slide gets old. It's really a pain in the ass, and it's really not conducive to training. In the real world, you're not going to rack the slide every time you take a shot. And if you have to rack the slide, you just can't practice follow-up shots. So yes, it has a spring in it. The way it works is you rack the slide, you insert the mag, and when you pull the trigger the first time, it's a little harder. And what it does is it moves the transfer bar. And then every time you pull the trigger, you'll hear a clicking sound from the tab on the magazine. It also comes with a set of springs so that you can adjust the trigger pull to be more realistic. And Don J, if you watch the review I did, I have a link in the description that should get you a discount on that. It's an awesome product from dryfiremag.com. I use it all the time. And if you use that in conjunction with Mantis, that really gives you the best of both worlds. And you're correct, Don J. It does not actually use your firing pin spring. It basically disables it, and when you pull the trigger, it grabs onto the tab of the magazine with a spring in it. But still, you don't have to rack the slide, or you could do what I do. I also use my Taurus G3C. The Taurus G3 has a restrike capability to it, so you don't have to rack the slide on that either. You could just keep pulling the trigger, and that works great with a laser cartridge. So, and for like $220, the Taurus G3 is worth having just for dry fire training. So, Lock Grips just sent me 2 sets of grips for my 1911. Zombie green and black and purple. I'll be releasing that video sometime today. And I have a hard time trying to pick which one. I mean, the zombie green is hot, but purple's my favorite color. So if you guys watch the video, maybe you could leave in your comment. What is my favorite option on 80% frames and receivers? I don't use 80%. I use completely stripped lowers. I used Anderson. I got mine at the local Rural King for about $60. And that's what I use on my ARs. For the 80%, I guess if you have some experience as a machinist and you have the right tools, but honestly, for 60 bucks, everything's already drilled out for me. I don't have to worry about it. Um, and I buy my complete uppers from Bear Creek Arsenal in North Carolina. When I built my 300 blackout pistol, I think the total cost was under $300. I got the complete upper for under 200 bucks with the uh, bolt carrier group. I have a question. If I hold the trigger of a pump action shotgun and pump it, will it fire? I don't even know how to answer that question. Why would you even have your finger on the trigger? I'm assuming this is just a ball busting question. So I'm gonna just leave it at that. Yeah, Bear Creek. I got to tell you, you can't beat Bear Creek for the money. I have about four of their uppers as well, and for the money, they come with the uh, upper receiver, and their upper receivers include the bolt carrier group. If you start looking at upper receivers and you see the price from most places, you'll notice a little asterisk on the bottom, and it says does not include bolt carrier group. And I think it was Black Friday. I wanted to build a 300 blackout pistol, and I got my 300 blackout upper with a 10-inch barrel from Bear Creek on sale for $179. Do I like their side charging uppers? Um, I don't have an issue with side charging uppers. The only reason I like the rear charging uppers is because I like replacing the charging handle. And if you look at some of my reviews on my AR pistols, um, I have custom charging handles, and it's just a lot easier to get one with a rear charging handle than it is on the side. Not that I have a problem with the side or that it's um, not as good as the others. Say it had a malfunction. Okay, if it had a malfunction, then for sure you should not have your finger on the trigger. And that is correct too. You do lose the dust cover with a side charging. I just, if you look at my video, I have some really cool charging handles. And another reason I like the rear charging handle is that I own the Mantis Blackbeard X. And if you haven't seen it or heard of it, the Mantis Blackbeard X allows you to have a resettable trigger on your AR-15. All you do is pull out the bolt carrier group, insert the bolts from Mantis along with the magazine that's got Mantis X in it, and you're good to go. And Strappy Fool, how are you? Thanks for joining. Appreciate that. And I thank everyone for joining. Last week was very successful. Y'all pushed us up over 6,000 subscribers, which is incredible. We're well on our goal to hit 10,000 by the end of the year. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I'd appreciate it if you do so. It is hot as hell out here in Tennessee today. Yeah, they hosed us on those bills. I got to tell you, I really thought that we were going to get away with the tax stamps on the suppressor, and I thought we were going to get away with the short-barreled rifle, and of course the U.S. Senate hosed us over again. And hello to you, Tara Tactical. Thank you for joining. And how are you, Ray? You know something, Ted? I don't have the 22 long rifle conversion kit for the AR, but I was doing some research on it, and it's honestly it's almost cheaper to just build one than to buy the conversion kit. And I do not have any Draco, so I can't answer that question. Uh, Francisco, welcome to our chat. Your friend got raided in California. What did they get raided for? I remember that now, Ray, with the rust in the barrel. And I'm glad everything is taken care of. Yeah, they may have sprayed some kind of coating on it that peeled off, but anyway, I'm glad the issue's been resolved for you. So this is another reason why we need to fight for our Second Amendment rights. Just when we think we're finally making headway, they screw us again. You could thank the U.S. Senate for that, and of course it was a freaking Democrat. But they excluded the suppressors and short-barreled rifles, and we don't have enough votes in the Senate, unfortunately. And it's always going to come down to it. Every time we have a gun bill in our favor, the Senate is going to shoot it down every time. We need to fix that in the midterms. We got to do something about that. Yes, 10x shooters, you're exactly correct. So, for Father's Day, I got myself two presents. I bought a Savage Stance XR 9mm, which I like a lot. And I bought a Ruger SR 1911 aluminum frame. And I got a great deal on it. It was 500 and change. And I was very pleased with it. Right out of the box at 25 yards, I blew the bullseye right out of the target. So I was real happy with that. I was concerned that the aluminum frame was going to make it too light and it was going to have heavy muzzle flip and recoil, but it was very negligible. If I put it next to my Steel Colt 1911, it's almost identical, and I love that Ruger. I'll be releasing the review on that very soon, so you may want to keep an eye out on that. I got to tell you, if you're talking about the Ruger, most guns have a 300 to 500 round break-in period, but that Ruger, right out of the box, first shots fired, blew the hole right out of the bullseye, and I'm real happy with that. Yeah, I get most of my guns from Smoky Mountain Guns and Ammo. They're only about 20 minutes from here, and they have great deals. I order it on their website and pick it up in their store. It's Smoky Mountain Guns and Ammo.com. You guys may want to check their prices out. I got the new Savage Stance XR for $460, and that's with the night sights. If you get it without the night sights, it's only about $406. And I like the Savage Stance a lot. It's a great micro compact. Matter of fact, I just did a review and compared it to the the Springfield Hellcat Pro. Don J, first of all, the aluminum frame, a lot of people were concerned about, it may crack over time. The technology in aluminum in the past decade has really changed dramatically. I mean, almost everything is made out of aircraft aluminum. And as far as the frame cracking, you won't fire enough rounds in your lifetime for that to happen. Um, you wouldn't even know that the frame is made out of aluminum, except for the fact that you don't get a sore hip from carrying it. Yeah, I agree, and I trust the Ruger with my life too. Now, if that was some off-brand like a Rock Island or a Tisas, maybe I wouldn't trust an aluminum frame. But the Ruger is made in the USA, um, and Rugers are built like tanks. I just got to tell you that it's a pleasure to carry because um, I have a Colt government model that I bought myself for Christmas, and that thing is a freaking boat anchor. And that Ruger is probably 1.5 pounds less, um, and I can't notice any difference shooting it. Yep, I do trust the aluminum. I trust the technology. And hello to you, Yankto from Indonesia. Uh, I live in the great state of Tennessee. I love the fact that we have people from all over the world join our stream. Yeah, Dunjay, that's a good move. I mean, a Rock Island for what it is a good gun. It's a great gun to take to the range and plink, but it is made in the Philippines. It's not the best quality, and I would not trust a Rock Island uh, with my life. I would trust the Glock 19 with my life, no matter how old it is. So yes, that was an awesome trade. 10x shooters, you can't go wrong with a Barrett, man. And Yang is an air gun lethal. It's all about shot placement. I mean, it can be anything could be lethal. You know, I did some reviews on the cheaper guns like the 1911s, like the TSUS and the um, ATIs and the Rock Islands, and like I always tell people, when I go buy a gun, um, the first thing that I think of when I go into the gun store is what's the best quality gun I can buy. I Trying to get a cheap gun, cheap just never enters my mind. Now, um, I do always look for a good deal, but my goal and yours shouldn't be either is to find the cheapest gun you can buy. I mean, you really going to trust a $200 or $300 firearm to protect yourself and your family? I just tell people, you know what? If that's all you can afford, fine. But if it were me, I would just wait, save up a little more money, and get a better gun. Yes, to answer your question, Ray, um, Ruger firearms are great in my opinion. They always have been. If you look at, we'll start with the revolvers. If you look at the revolvers, the um, GP 100 is freaking awesome. It's built like a tank. It'll last forever. You look at their pistols, right? The Ruger American 45 ACP um, is just as good as my Glock 30. I did a review on that, and I also did a comparison to the Glock 30. And then they really hit it out of the park when they came out with the Ruger RXM. The Ruger RXM is basically a Glock 19 clone, um, built on the Glock Gen 3 technology, and they took it a step further. It's optic ready, it's gray, um, and it's for $360. So, and Ultrafire, yes, the Walter PDP is a great pistol. I have one of them as well. The Ruger Max 9 is a great gun for everyday carry. And I'm sorry if I miss your comments. I try to watch them, but they scroll through so fast. So I apologize. And if you want to, you can ask them again. Also, if I failed to acknowledge you, I apologize for that as well, because sometimes it just scrolls right by me. I don't get a chance to see it. Hey, Hard Life Survivor, what's up from New Jersey? Always good to see another Jersey boy. I don't miss New Jersey for a bit, but I still have a lot of friends there. Best thing I ever did was leave New Jersey and come to the great state of Tennessee. In all fairness, though, my wife and I grew up in New Jersey. It was a great place to live when we were kids. It just happened that the liberals destroyed that state in the past 10 years. So, and Valentine, hello to you too as well. Yeah, it is a good double-edged sword living there. Um, it's close to New York City. There's a lot of things in New Jersey you can't get here in Tennessee, right? Like, I'd give my left nut to get a Taylor ham, egg, and cheese sandwich. You can't get bagels. Um, we have no bakeries down here. There's no Italian food that's any good. You can't go to the store and buy like prosciutto and things like that. And the food down here like pretty much sucks. And there's a lot of food you can only get in New Jersey, and I agree, Ted. New Jersey was nice until the late '90s. Yep, but I do miss the food, and the snacks in Tennessee uh, really suck. I mean, all we have is Little Diabetes and Hostess. You can't get Entenmann's and no Drake products. Could you imagine not having any Yankee Doodles or Funny Bones or Devil Dogs? Ultra Fire. Do I ever worry about poisonous snakes in Tennessee? Oh, hell yeah. We have a lot of copperheads and timber rattlers, and um, I'm always worried when my dog is outside and he's up against a tree line. I always worry about that. Good Oriental. There's no good Oriental in Tennessee. Matter of fact, there's no good ethnic food in Tennessee. But if the worst thing about living in Tennessee is that the food sucks, um, I could live with that. Hard Life Survivor. What part of New Jersey was I from? We're from Bergen County. We lived in Elmwood Park near Paramus. Yeah, we do have taco trucks. Actually, we have a lot of food trucks down here. They're overpriced and the food is just mediocre at best. I'm assuming that the people that live here cook their own food, and that's why the restaurants aren't really that good. But we have we have some good trucks here, but they're expensive. But restaurants, and since my wife and I moved here, I don't think we've ever gone to a restaurant and said, "Wow, we got to come back there." And HJW Hunting, and hello to you from Nambia. And this is what's awesome about the live stream. Um, I love the fact that people from all over join. It's a great opportunity to share information and ask questions. Don't be shy and don't be afraid. There's no such thing as a dumb question. The worst thing is having one not asking. Um, I don't have all the answers. Nobody has all the answers. Um, we don't all know everything, but everyone knows something. So if you post a question, if I can't answer it, Maybe someone else could. And if I don't have the answer, I will get it for you and contact you privately. If I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. I'm not going to just make up shit. So those were my two Father's Day gifts. The Savage Stance XR. It's brand new. It just came out. Matter of fact, I saw it on the cover of Shooting Times, and that's why I decided to buy it. And then I bought the Ruger SR 1911. Still next up on my list is going to be a lever action rifle. And I do have it narrowed down between the Marlin and the Henry. And I'm probably leaning towards the Marlin because it's owned by Ruger, and Ruger's built like a tank. And we have any more firearms related questions or firearm related topics? And Vincent, I don't know what the SBL is. Oh, what caliber? I'm sorry. Yeah, the caliber lever action I want is 357 Magnum, because I have a boatload of 357 Magnum ammo and I like to be able to use it. And LXT blah blah blah. Is the Glock 17 too big to inside the waistband concealed carry? Absolutely not. I have a Glock 17. I carry it inside the waistband. Hell, I even carry a Glock 20 10 millimeter inside the waistband. As long as you dress properly. So that's the thing a lot of people fail to realize. When you're carrying a firearm, especially inside the waistband, and you got to help yourself out a little bit. You got to wear pants that are a little bigger, shirts that are a little looser. I also carry appendix. I find that appendix helps me carry a larger firearm. Now, if you wear try wearing, you can't wear your same pants and stick a gun, especially in a Kydex holster, in your pants. You got to wear pants that are a little bit bigger, right? And a shirt that's a little bit bigger. And you'll be able to hide that Glock 17. Trust me. You're going camping today and you want to take some firearms. Okay, 3 good calibers to take. Well, I would take 45, I would take a 357, and I would take a 10 millimeter. To answer your question about that, Ray, and that's a very good question, because it's summertime, you're wearing lighter clothing. You may want to consider using a sling bag. That's what I use. Check out my reviews. I did a review of the 945 Industries sling bag. It's great. You just drop it over your shoulder and you open it up, draw your firearm. And that's probably the best option. In the summertime, if you're wearing shorts and a tank top, you really don't have many options. Don J, that's a personal choice for you, I guess. I'm not a fan of the 357 SIG. It's kind of a caliber that's like in the middle somewhere. Matter of fact, they don't even make 357 SIG anymore. At least Sig Sauer doesn't. I would go with 10 millimeter every day. ACPGC. I agree with you. First of all, I don't really give a rat's ass if I print. I live in the great state of Tennessee, so I open carry all the time. Now, if you take a look at the sling bag review I did from 945 Industries, it is extremely comfortable, and it comes with a Kydex holster built in. So, and ACPGC. And the reason I open carry is not to look like a badass. I carry a lot of large guns, right? I'm a fat guy, and I don't want to fight with my belly and my clothes to get my gun out. And I carry a large gun. I really don't care, so I open carry it because I'm allowed to. Um, I can't tell you how many times I'm out, and people look like mental patients. They think they're carrying concealed, and you could tell they have a gun. So if you're going to print like crazy, you might as well just open carry. And I got to tell you, I wonder how many times I may have been a victim, but I wasn't because I was open carrying. What are my thoughts on carrying a fully Glock? I don't understand what you mean by a fully Glock. Well, the thing about carrying is that's just personal preference and depends on what you're comfortable with and where you live. In Tennessee, if you open carry, nobody cares. Nobody looks at you funny. There's some places you open carry, they may call the cops. People get uneasy or nervous, but again, it depends on the environment you live in. In Tennessee, you walk around, you see people open carrying all the time. And I get a kick out of that open versus concealed carry because gun owners fight with each other over that all the time. You know what? There is no right way to carry. The way to carry is what's comfortable for you. Don't let anybody talk you out of it or bully you into open carrying or concealed carrying. You do what makes you comfortable. That's it. And forget about what everybody else says. And come on, guys, this is for you. So, Islam Fatman, do people open carry rifles? Um, you could open carry a rifle. I mean, honestly, I don't know why you would do that. I think you're just looking for trouble. Um, there's something, you got to use common sense. And Hard Life Survivor, I agree with you 100%. If you're able to carry in the state you live in, I think everybody should carry every day. How you carry is up to you. I don't tell anyone that you should open carry or concealed carry. I just tell them to carry. As long as you're comfortable, that's all that matters. It's almost like the caliber war. There is no best caliber. And I never tell anyone what caliber they should get. The best caliber is the one you shoot best with. And what's right for one person may not be right for someone else. And okay, so the 5.56 shoots with no recoil. Well, so does the 300 blackout. And again, um, you want to discuss calibers. Everybody's going to have a favorite. Oh, I missed that question here. Hard Life Survivor. Yep. Again, it all comes down to what you're comfortable with. For me, I prefer 45 and 10 millimeter. Nothing wrong with the 9. I just prefer those. No, the 300 Blackout, I'm sorry. 300 Blackout has got very little recoil, especially if you get the subsonic rounds. And the 300 Blackout is even better in the pistol. Um, I built 2 AR pistols, one 5.56 and one 300 Blackout, both with 10-inch barrels. And I could tell you that the 300 Blackout has much less recoil. 10 millimeter, in my opinion, is the shit, but it's not for everybody. It does take a lot more training to get good with it. I also do have to admit that the 9 millimeter is better for follow-up shots. Yeah, that's the problem when you have a lot of guns there. You have tons of ammo. Um, my workbench has got a boatload of ammo cans full of all different caliber ammo. The other thing is it's a pain in the ass when you go to the range. Um, you know, you have a ton of pistols. Um, you have to make sure you bring magazines to the range, etc. Uh, no, I don't have any gun tattoos. My stance on that is I don't like to uh, advertise it. Um, I don't like to see these people that have like Glock stickers on their car windows. That's just got "bust my window" written all over it. Um, that's just me. And Fluoride 556, welcome to have you back. We're doing well. Hope you are as well. I just recently joined the Gun Owners of America. Hold on there. Mike M. 945 Industries. No, it's not a fanny pack. Watch my review. It's a sling bag that has and you pick your holster, and it comes with a Kydex holster built in. So it's a true bag, and all you have to do is pull the tab like this. It opens immediately. Um, that is a game changer. It's not like some of these places that make standard uh, fanny packs and call them concealed carry bags. This is made specifically for carrying. It's a little pricey, but it's great. And can you get lead poisoning from cleaning a gun? No, you can't get lead poisoning, but all the chemicals and stuff, I wouldn't like, I always wear rubber gloves when I clean my guns. Islam Fat Man, do I have a gun that I trust my life on? That would be all of them. I got rid of my cheaper guns, and um, my feeling is every gun I own, I carry at some point. And if it's a gun that I can't trust to defend my life or my family's life, I won't own it. So I own a lot of guns, and I trust every one of them. And I used to be a Glock poster child, but you know what? Glock's not the only gun out there that goes boom every time and is reliable. There's a lot of good quality guns out there that aren't Glocks. I love my Glocks and I'll never part with them, but they're not the only guns that are good quality. Yeah, I agree with the dog thing. I mean, we have a large Great Dane as well, but that is only the first line of defense, and um, it really doesn't matter whether you have a little Chihuahua or you have a Cane Corso. Uh, the main thing about the dog is it's to alert you. Which brings me up to I've discussed this before. Um, as part of a home defense situation, everyone should have a safe room in their house that if there was an invasion that you can get to and hide it until law enforcement gets there. And you should conduct drills with your family um, on getting them all into the safe room. It should have a steel or a solid core door. Should have a weapon in there, a cell phone. I don't understand your question, Ray, about less than lethal rounds. Are they any good? I agree with you, Hard Life. Between my wife and I, we have guns in every room. Uh, and until I'm sleeping, I'm carrying my gun every day. I carry my gun when I'm home. Contrary to popular belief, the majority of home invasions happen between 9 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon because that's when people are working. Everybody thinks that most home invasions happen at 3 o'clock in the morning. Um, so that's a false sense of security. But that's why I carry from the time I wake up till the time I go to bed, and then it's on my nightstand. You know, these people that keep their gun safe, I just don't understand the logic of that. Um, the attacker's not going to give you time to get to your safe. I don't, Ray, I don't understand. Um, I'm sorry, I don't understand the question. Marcia Beans, hello. Welcome to our live stream. Thanks for joining. I don't understand why you would have rounds made of rubber or plastic. Um, that that's just me. I mean, I carry defensive rounds, and that's what you should carry. Rich Clark, what state is what guy in? Fluoride 556. What do I ride? Um, I used to ride a Electroglide, and now that I'm getting old, I traded in the Electroglide, and um, we have a Harley Trike now. We have the Tri Glide Ultra, and on the bike, I carry on a shoulder holster, or I have a concealed carry vest. And that's a great statement you made there, Hard Life Survivor. Um, when I was a kid, my dad taught me how to shoot when I was probably 10 years old. Um, my dad never kept his guns locked up in the garage. They were in a wooden cabinet that I could easily get to anytime I want. He took me to the range, made me shoot, made me clean them. And when I started driving, he let me take them and go to the shooting range. And never one time in my life has it ever occurred to me to take his guns out and bring them to school or do stupid shit with them. Was a Indian chief. Nice. That's a great bike. No, Rich, believe it or not, none of my guns have ever killed anybody. So, um, my guns may be defective. Marcia Beans, um, I've done reviews, so look for them on my channel. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And you could look at Veneto. They make the best. Um, I have Veneto conceal carry jackets and vests. Especially when I ride the motorcycle, I wear the vests. But in the wintertime, I wear the jackets. But they are made specifically for concealed carry. It's not like they made a garment and they just put an elastic on it to hold the gun. So, yeah, that's correct. But things are different now. Kids are just stupid today. Like, back then, I don't know if I would say my dad was irresponsible. I guess he just trusted me. Um, but it never once occurred to me, even though I could have, to take one of his guns and bring it to school and play show and tell and do stupid shit. But if you did that nowadays, the results would probably be different. I mean, I was 17 years old, and when I started driving, my dad used to let me take his guns and go to the gun range. And all he said to me is, you go to the range, you go shooting, and you come right home. Don't go out driving around or whatever. And I did that. I took the gun to the range, I went shooting, and I brought it right home. Never went anywhere. But I guess today you just can't trust that kids would do that. Uh, Fat Man, my favorite revolver, I just bought myself the Colt Python Combat Elite. So that is my favorite. Marcia Beans, you also just started carrying, um, and you were told never to use a shoulder holster. Always have it on my hip. Um, I agree with that. I'm not a fan of uh, shoulder holsters. Um, you know, the firearm is never pointed in the right direction on a shoulder holster. I'm not a big fan of them either. Um, so I agree. I would carry it on my hip. However, when I ride the bike, I do carry it on a concealed carry vest. And kudos to you, Marcia, in your 50s and have never shot a gun till this year. That is awesome. What state are you in, Marcia? I'm just curious. I appendix carry as well. I find appendix carry works very well if you're driving a car. I even appendix carry on the bike sometimes because the firearms in front of me can easily get to it, and it definitely helps you conceal much better. But anyway, sorry, I digress. But um, we were talking about concealed carry vests and jackets. For anyone who's never seen them, you may want to check out Veneto. I've done reviews on their concealed carry clothing. It's fantastic quality, and they're designed specifically for carrying a firearm. If you notice their vests and their jackets, they're cut a little bit longer than what you would buy in the store, and that's done intentionally so that if you're wearing a firearm on your hip, um, the muzzle doesn't stick out of the bottom. Um, Wisconsin, good for you. I don't know if Wisconsin is a gun-friendly state, but being that you carry, I'm assuming that it is. And again, I want to thank all the subscribers and viewers out there. Really appreciate your support. Love you guys. You guys helped push us over 6,000 subscribers last week. Um, Trying to reach my goal of 10,000 by the end of the year. Probably going to come up a little bit short, but that's just my goal. It may not be realistic, but that's the goal I have. It is 12:37. I will run this until 1 o'clock. And thank you very much, Marcia, for subscribing. I really appreciate that. I'm also adding a section to my videos called under playlist called Dry Fire Training. And you may be interested in that as a new shooter as well. And Mike M., thank you, brother, for subscribing. I appreciate that. And Savage, hello to you. Welcome to our live stream. For the people that are new to this, that just joined, we do live stream every Saturday at 12 o'clock noon Eastern till 1 o'clock. And we do this every week. I love interaction with my viewers and subscribers, and I have over 40 years firearms experience, so if I could share that knowledge, I'm happy to do so. And Fat Man, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. And Rich Clark, I am in the great state of Tennessee, outside of Knoxville. Can't get much more gun-friendlier than Tennessee. We don't need no stinking permits to carry or buy a gun here. Outside Franklin. It's too bad Franklin's a piece. And Ted, yeah, Knoxville. I'm probably 30 minutes outside of Knoxville. So hey, Louie, how you doing there, Big Lou? Glad you could join us. That's another one of my New Jersey Goombas. Super Lou. We got screwed, Louie. The Senate screwed us on the suppressors and the short barrels. Yeah, Ted, any state that lets you carry a gun is a good state. Yeah, I agree, Rick. Like we knew that wasn't going to happen. It's always a bullshit Democrat that's got to hose us, but yeah, I saw that Colt Anaconda in 45 long, Louis. It's just 45 long Colt is just too expensive to shoot. I used to have a single action cowboy gun in 45 long Colt, and I got rid of it. I had a 44 special as well. I got rid of it. It's just too expensive to shoot. Yeah, I'm glad you're doing well, Louie. We got a couple of Jersey boys on here, Lou. Hey, Louie, I got two sets of grips for that new Ruger SR 1911. I'll be releasing the video probably today or tomorrow. It looks really hot. Lock Grips sent me a pair of grips in zombie green and black, and they sent me a pair in purple and black. I'm going with the zombie green and black on the Ruger. I'll save the purple and black and put them on one of my other 1911s. 1911s are awesome guns, and I got to tell you, the lock grips, those G10 grips are awesome. They're lightweight and indestructible. You may want to check them out at lockgrips.com. Yeah, so now we're back to square one with the suppressors and short barrel rifles. And that's why I'm telling you that, I know what President Trump said. I was at the NRA convention last July in Dallas when he said he was going to push for um, national reciprocity. Um, it's never going to happen because the Democrats are just never going to let it go. And okay, Ray, good to see you too, brother. Um, Thanks for joining us and hope to see you again next week. Oh, okay, Louis. So I was saying that the problem we have here is with the Senate, right? I was at the NRA convention in Dallas last year, and I was there when President Trump said he was going to push for national reciprocity. Never going to happen in our lifetime. The Senate is just going to be a roadblock every time, and these liberal states are going to pull their bullshit and do whatever they want to do, um, and have this thing tied up in the courts for so long. It's just never going to happen. But I never give up the fight. I fight every week. I send letters to my representatives just like this. And I even sign petitions for people in other states just to fight for everyone's gun rights. Unless we have 60 votes, Louis, we don't even have 50. And you know what, Ted? Yes, shall not be infringed. I understand that, but they are being infringed. And this is the problem. These liberal states are doing whatever they want to do to infringe on our rights. So the Second Amendment could say whatever it wants, but they just ignore it. And thanks to Brother Louis, I appreciate that. I do the best I can. I enjoy the interaction with my viewers and subscribers. A lot of the bigger channels don't do that. My channel got to where it is because of you guys, so that's why I do this. This live stream is for you guys. We can exchange information with each other. Yeah, I understand that, Louis, but we don't even have 54. Marcia Beans, funny you should say that. I just released a video on the Mantis X10 Elite. It is by far the most superior training system you'll ever find. I use my Mantis system 3 days a week. You only need to spend about 15 minutes. And I can guarantee you that in 4 hours, you will definitely increase your shooting skills. So, Marcia, check out my videos. It's under Dry Fire playlist. It's also just under videos, and it's called the Mantis X10 Elite. You want to start shooting better immediately? I highly recommend it. And the link is in the description. And I agree with you, Dr. Donstow. 54 of them are rhinos. This is, that's the way it is, unfortunately. And thank you for your comments, Marcia. That's what I'm here for. I try to fight for everybody's Second Amendment rights. People need to get more involved, but I know that, life gets in the way. But my feeling is that you can't sit there and do nothing and then complain when your rights get taken away. And even though Tennessee is very gun friendly, I don't take my gun rights for granted. We're only a mass shooting or an election away from losing everything. So, but I'm sorry, I digressed again. So, Marcia, yes, the Mantis X Elite is by far the most superior training system around. And you could use it for live or dry fire. And you will, in 4 hours, improve your shooting skills. And the nice thing about it is it gives you feedback, gives you diagnostics. It even gives you videos that show you what you did wrong so you can correct your shooting. It's like having your own personal shooting coach. and the link is in the description on the video. I agree with you, Dr. Dons. Having to pay the government to own something we're allowed to own is just ridiculous. And you know, the Second Amendment, it's called the Bill of Rights. It's not called the Bill of Needs. It's got nothing to do with whether I need an AR-15 or whether I need a high-capacity magazine. They didn't stipulate under the Second Amendment that you can only own this or you can only own that. Matter of fact, it doesn't even state in the Second Amendment that a felon can't own a gun. The government just made that shit up and threw it all in there, right? It doesn't say in the Second Amendment that you have to be 21-year-old to own a handgun. That's another one of those things that the government just interprets it, and these liberal states do whatever they want to do, and I just keep fighting every day. Gun Owners of America is having their convention in Knoxville, Tennessee in August. I'm going to be there helping those guys out and doing everything I can to help join the fight. Yep, it takes a lot of money. I agree with you there, Dr. Dons. And that's the problem. Trying to take on the government agencies, they'll just tie this up in the courts for so long that people and organizations like the NRA and Gun Owners of America are just going to run out of money in legal fees. But I'm still puzzled by this fact, right? We were always told that driving is a privilege, not a right. And you can lose that privilege, right? And then they tell us that the right to keep and bear arms, so owning a gun is a right, not a privilege. But yet, driving is a privilege and not a right. And you could drive from California to Maine with the same driver license, and that's only a privilege. But yet, when you have the right to own a gun, you can't go from one state to another with the same gun license. That just boggles the mind. And how each state gets to make up their own bullshit laws. I mean, the only way around this is that it's got to be on the federal level. And because of the U.S. Senate, it's just never going to happen. But you can't quit fighting. We fight every day. Yes, that is correct. Justice Thomas did say that. They keep forgetting that our Second Amendment rights are not their rights to take away from us. That's the bad part about it. And they chip away at them every day. And, we did learn that, I don't know why, gun owners don't vote. And we saw that on the previous election, right? If gun owners voted, things would be a lot different than they are now. And to be a liberal gun owner is kind of mind-boggling to me, because you're voting for people to take your gun rights away. I just don't understand the logic of that one. And again, welcome to everyone that just joined. This is our weekly live stream. We do this live stream every Saturday at 12 noon to 1 o'clock. This is a place where we all share information, vent, ask questions, as long as it's firearm related. I try not to get political, but I will if I have to. Again, we don't all know everything, but everyone does know something. So if you have a question, if I can't answer it, there's someone else out there that can. I'm personally waiting. There's going to be another NRA personal protection outside the home instructor course. I'm hoping to be taking that in the next month or two. As an NRA pistol instructor, certified to teach NRA pistol, personal protection inside the home, refuse to be a victim, and firearm safety. So I want to be able to add the personal protection outside the home as well. That guy, I don't have a favorite AK because I don't own one. So yeah, they don't count cars in that. But now that we all agree that we need to fight, I highly recommend that you contact your representatives. I contact my representatives every month. Fortunately, in the great state of Tennessee, we do have Diana Harshberger. And I sent her a letter. And if you think your letters and comments don't count, they do count. I sent her a letter asking her to support H.R. 38, the Constitutional Carry Reciprocity Act. And I received a letter from her that said, "Thank you for contacting me to request my support for concealed carry reciprocity. I want to ensure you don't even have to ask. As a fellow gun owner myself, I understand the importance of protecting our Second Amendment rights. I signed on as a co-sponsor for H.R. 38, Constitutional Concealed Carry Reciprocity Act. I have continued to support this bill and believe it must be passed without further delays." So, that's what I'm saying. It does matter. Some people just don't do it. They think it doesn't count. Well, let me tell you, your representatives need your votes. I go to my representatives every month. I go to my state's website and I look at what gun bills are being presented, whether they're pro-gun or anti-gun. I contact my representatives and I tell them, to either vote for or against certain bills. We need to do that because there are gun bills that get brought up every month that, if you don't check your state's website, you're never going to know about it. And next thing you know, in a blink of an eye, everything changes. And if you would have known about it, you could have written a representative and it may have helped. Yes, remove the bird law and remove NFA. Yeah, I agree with that, but the only way to do that is you have to remove the liberals, and that's never going to happen. They should remove the ATF as well. Yeah, you know what, Louis? The NRA website isn't enough. They don't have info about every state every day. I check my state specifically, and I also find that Gun Owners of America has a lot more daily topics available. NRA's website is kind of lame, to be honest with you. You need to check the website in the state you live in, because there's a lot of bills going through that won't show up on the NRA site. They try to sneak a lot of them in. Yes, that is correct there, Dr. Dons. It's just like before I moved to Tennessee, when I lived in the communist state of New Jersey, we used to be able to have, no, Louis, I'm sorry, I disagree. When you click on the state link, that is not everything that's going through for your state. I totally disagree with that. If I go to Tennessee's website and I compare that to the link on NRA may have one thing. Tennessee may have 15 or 20. So I highly disagree with that. I'm sorry, Dr. Don. So What they did at the time in New Jersey was we used to have 15-round magazine capacity. And then when they elected Governor Free Stuff Murphy, in the middle of the night with the swipe of a pen, he made it 10 rounds. Nobody knew anything about it. So you can't take your gun rights for granted. And, every time, I see on the news or I read in the paper about a mass shooting, it makes the hair stand up on the back of my neck because, the next thing that's coming is more attacks on our Second Amendment. That guy, I do not live in the communist state of New Jersey any longer. I moved to the great state of Tennessee 7 years ago. Haven't looked back. Louis, you could say it all you want. I check the NRA ILA site all the time. It does not have everything that they're proposing in the state of Tennessee or any other state. You need to check your state's website. Yeah, Dr. Dons, I have a friend of mine when I was living in New Jersey who moved to Pennsylvania and kept rubbing it in saying how great Pennsylvania is. You could own this, you could own that, you don't need permits. And you see how that changed? Pennsylvania is not really gun friendly anymore. And that could happen anywhere. Every gun friendly state is only one election away from being a democratic communist state. And look what they did in Virginia. The governor of Virginia vetoed the bill for constitutional carry. And we need to get these people out of office. There has to be enough gun owners in these states to help change an election. So if you're not a registered voter, you need to do it and you need to fight. And it is 1 o'clock. I will leave this open a little bit longer to see if there's any more comments. I don't know, Louis. You may be getting different information somewhere. I don't know where you get your info, but the ILA site is definitely not in line with the state of Tennessee. I can show you bills that are being proposed in Tennessee that don't even show up on there, but whatever. Yeah, Dr. Duns, it used to be that way in Tennessee. You didn't, in order to open carry in Tennessee, you used to need a concealed carry permit. But 2 years ago, our Governor Lee signed a bill where you don't need anything to open or conceal. And it's not just residents. Anybody that comes into Tennessee, as long as they're not a felon, can open or conceal carry. That's America. Damn, I drank way too much coffee. All right, Brother Louis, take care. Glad you were able to join us. Again, check the New Jersey site. Don't just rely on everything on the ILA. Yeah, in Tennessee, we don't need a permit at all. The only reason we do get them is just for reciprocity. You don't want to, leave the state of Tennessee and go into North Carolina and get arrested for carrying a gun. And good for you there, Marcia. Come here, buddy. Come here, bud. Sorry, my dog is here. Yeah, good for you. Wisconsin is open carry. That's awesome. I personally open carry. Um, yes, North Carolina is very good with gun laws. And thank you, Ted. I appreciate the kind words. Thanks again for joining. Thanks to all of you guys. We wouldn't be where we are without you guys. And uh, I just really appreciate that. Support has been overwhelming. I got my big boy, Dallas the Great Dane here, decided to come and join the stream. He's laying down right here by me. And, even the states where we can carry, you can't take that for granted either, which is why I fight every day. When I used to live in the communist state of New Jersey, when I was a kid, my dad used to be able to carry a firearm. And then over time, when the Democrats took over the state of New Jersey, they decided you can't do that, and now he can't carry anymore. So, and I'm glad you found this too, Marcia. Um, like I said, go to my videos. I also did a video that compares Mantis Laser Academy to Strike Man. The video that I did of the Mantis X10 Elite, this is only a few days old, so that'll be up right away. And search for Venado, Venado, and that's got their concealed carry vests and jackets. I believe I even have a concealed carry flannel shirt from them. So thank you again so much. All right, guys, it's 1:05. I'm going to be ending this stream now. We normally run it from 12 to 1. I do keep it open if people are still actively asking questions. So if you have any questions you want to ask or comments, make them now, and I'll let them go through, and then we'll shut it down. Otherwise, thank you all for joining. We do this stream every Saturday, 12 noon Eastern. I do it every week. This is a place to exchange information with each other, ask questions. If I don't have the answer, maybe one of you guys do. And if I don't have the answer, I'm not going to just make shit up. I'll get the answer and I'll answer you privately. I've been an NRA pistol instructor and have over 40 years firearms experience, so I do know something about firearms. So I'm just glad to be able to help out and share the knowledge when I can. And Adela, you're going to get another one with a dumbass question. So we're going to say goodbye to you. You're gone. And this isn't bad. We had a lot of people on the stream today, and we only had, 2 or 3 idiots, which isn't bad. They're welcome to. It's just depending on their stupid comments, whether I delete them or not. But, it makes things interesting. But anyway, thank you all for joining. I really appreciate that. And thanks again to everybody that subscribed and helped push us over the 6,000 subscriber mark the other day. I love you guys. Till next time.